I just posted uh, on Facebook that let us pray what this important number that is 40 gives us. This number may kick out coronavirus from India faster than we think. So, in today's news, Times of India, I found that mercury likely to hit 40 degrees Celsius by Wednesday. So, I also have studied certain papers which says increasing temperature and the length of the sunlight will make this coronavirus difficult. But there are again certain paper which are again these which are published by the media section like BBC News and the US Today. I think they haven't done good research and there is not so much proof from their side also. And but the thing is that the conditions of Europe, US are totally different with India, which is is in the tropical region. So we always have better UV radiations as well as sunlights compared to Europe and US. So our discussions started. I got some likes as well as comments. So now the another thing is this also I posted like clear sky pushes temperature higher, rates for 40 degree. So nowadays because of the lockdown, the sky is much clearer in Delhi compared to previous like days where there was huge pollutions in above the sky in Delhi. So there will be good temperature and I hope there will be better UV radiations, UVI index. As a mean, India comes under an extreme UV radiation zone right now from last few days, and there is also another like 40 number, important values of 40 number, that is ICMR. uh, okay, also like trying to find out the vaccines for this disease, but still none of 40 vaccines is in the final stage. But if this also comes under the final stage, then we may have better chances of like cured from this disease. So these numbers, that is 40 degrees Celsius as well as 40 drugs, can save India and also many other things. Now I will go to the comment sections. Here I got a first comment from one of my good student, that is Mehdi Raja. Okay, Raja. So he said, sir, no large scale research has found any correlation between rising temperature and decreased virulence for corona. In fact, the internal temperature of the beds during the flight frequently reaches above 40 degrees Celsius. So I assume the virus is well adapted to temperature like that, but let us hope for the best. So in this reply, I replied him that uh, I replied him that research are there, but some of the media news like BBC or whatever, the media people, they don't want you to give with a positive thing. Okay, so I answered him that there is research, and also there is one of the paper which I have sent him, That is, UV radiation from the sun increases by a factor of 10 by summer and could be key in slowing the COVID. This is done with a proper research analysis, which is done by John Roth and Aqua Weather staff writer. So that was published on the March 18. Okay. So this could come out to be very good, but I don't believe in the news medias, but instead we should believe on some papers, scientific papers, or the one which do the analysis. And there is also another like a reference I sent to him, that is low temperature and low UV index correlate with the peak of influenza virus activities in northern Europe during 2010 to 18. So there is not much huge difference between these two viruses, influenza and the corona. So this can also work because we have opposite. We have high temperature, we have high index. So and this is in the Europe. So India may be in very much safer zone, and when you compare with the present like updates from the World Health Organization or from any website, we could see that there is huge difference in the infection rate. Now US has almost 6 lakhs, but India is still very like having very low compared to the population ratio. So India is the second largest and the US is the third you can think of. So now after this, in the comment section, like Mehdi shows like hope it works that way and end soon. Okay, this is a positive note. But from my side, I have been studying what the BBC News or the USA Today published recently. I think they are trying to panic people um, without doing proper research. They are like publishing things, and that is making many more people in panic stages. I think instead of like believing on them, we should believe on the proper research publications, or all research references. So I again replied him, India and tropical regions are far more safer than Europe and US. Why should they tell you that you are in better position? So now, and we should do more research by ourselves. We should not depend on them. For now, for now means the Europeans as well as the US, they are much more busy in saving the lives of the people as well as looking for the new drugs to save their population. So they are not worrying about the simple things like the weather or climatic conditions. And again, Mehdi said, yes, sir, but we cannot take risk either. A town called Gayukila in the Ecuador has temperature above 30 degree right now and experience a tropical climate, yet the body bags are piling up. Yes, that could be with the certain like things we have to know. So I just replied him, yes, these people, the media people, they are panicking us, and there are certain natural phenomena that is going to save us. I mean the poor people who are living in the tropical regions. Let us pray for that. And again he writes that beaches of Ecuador have one of the highest UV index. So index is okay, but it also depends on the locations where they are living, the condition of the houses. In India also we have many places, but we still have like very good sunlight, but we always live in the colony where there is no sunlight. You know that. And in some places like Delhi, if you go to Murnika or you go to certain places where the gullies are totally dark in the daytime also. So if some persons are living there, then that this virus will enjoy with them. But something like lockdown, social behaviors also matters, as well as the location. Iran also have the same UV, I replied, condition with Delhi. So Delhi can have the spreading, power of spreading, maybe also the faster spreading, and it has already proved that Delhi can spread. There was a like huge conference for one of the community, and we have seen that because of the large number of the participants from foreign countries, we got like infections from those people, and that has been distributed equally to all the participants. And now that is creating a problem in India, and all the people that has moved out of those place, those incubation chamber where there was no sunlight, and people were incubating themselves to grow those virus. It was like that. So the huge crowd that was inside the room, there was no proper sunlight, nothing. So that is also possible. So it depends which city. Example, one city called Tipultini has low UV, has high rate of infection. That is about the Ecuador. And then Mehdi again, I want to tell you that it depends. People living in jugis without sunlight may be at high risk, and also for those people who always live indoor and cover themselves. Yes, it depends on the natural animal behavior or behavioral nature of the society or community, how they live. So finally, my student Mehdi Raja Nekbi replied with a positive hope. Let us hope the environment become unsuitable for the corona in the next few years. From my basic fundamental thing, as well as with my studies and the research presently I am doing, I know something that like sunlight may have little intensity of UV, which can kill these virus, but it is proved in many research lab as well as with the many paper that the virus that can be killed by the radio UV light. And in our research lab, we are using the laminar flow where you use UV light, that is C, but no problem. But there are these UVB, which has wavelength from about 280 to uh, 280 to this thing, what 280 to 315 nanometer, that can kill this bacteria very well as when we compared inside the Indian states also, the Manipur has the UBI, that is index of 12, Mizoram, and many places have the high UV index, and still there is not so much spreading is happening out there. And in the Mumbai, there is a high number of infections, as well as in Delhi, because these were due to the number of the people returned from the foreign, as well as because of the recent spreading. So so we have to know that these conditions, like the Indian conditions, which comes under the extreme UV radiation, is not suitable, maybe not suitable for this virus, because whenever you do culture of any particular virus, bacteria or fishes or animal, or you want to keep some fishes in an aquarium, you need particular optimum conditions. So I want to know that there might be certain um, proper conditions, the optimal conditions for the better survival of this virus. Let us say when we compared with the Italy, Spain, France, US, and many other countries, the spreading is very fast, as well as many death has happened there. So, so what I want to know is this virus is enjoying the colder as well as low UV regions, because the one the first place which we believe to be like the place which is the originating place of the this coronavirus has used to have like UV radiations below uh, below 5. Then Milan also have 5. Then you Paris also 5. Then you go to like New York, that is much more lower at that time. Even it is below 6 now. Then you take UK that was much more lower. UK has around 4, 3, 4. Even some country like Norway, which is very small population wise, which has a population of double times of Manipur, only like 40 lakhs, and there is more than like 7,000 population people have been infected. And this is one of the most hygienic and the highest human index country in the happiness or in everything, but still they have high infection because they have very low temperature, and the UV right now out there is only like below 2. Some of the place still have, like in the northern Norway it is 0. So I hope this virus is much more active in the colder place as well as in the less UV region. So from my like analysis, I found that this virus is active below, much below the like 7 UV index, and those which are happening in the like higher UV radiation, that can be because of the migration from infected country to another new country, and it has developed. And also it depends on the nature of the behavior of the people and the locations where they live, whether there is proper sunlight or not. So all this will have a matter on the spreading of coronavirus. So thanks to Mehdi, I will like now minimize this, and and also like I want to show something to you, Mehdi, about the this thing, a more like important uh, finding from some others, like I show you now here. So there is a like like a research finding, and I want to show is sunlight or more specifically solar UV radiations act as a principal natural virucides in the environment. That is true. UV radiation kills virus by chemically modifying their genetic materials, that is DNA and the RNA. And the most effective wavelength of inactivation is 260 nanometer. It is the most effective one, but it doesn't say that the wavelength 300 is not going to work. So this one exactly comes under the UBC range, but 280 to 315 is UBB, and which also does this killing of the killing activity of the virus. And now another so name to differentiate it from near UV found in the ground level sunlight, that is the UVB and the UVB portions of the spectrum has around 290 to 320, but it is from 280 to 315. And UV UV A is UVA is that is 320 to 380 nanometer respectively. And now the most important thing is nucleic acids, okay, are damaged also by the UVB and UVA, but with lower intensity than by UVC radiation, okay. But I want to tell you and let you know that the UV intensity of the UV also depends on the altitude, the time of the cloud and the everything. So it does matter. If there is no cloud, the UV radiation will reach properly to the surface, and that will do the mass disinfectants or inactivation of this virus from the environment. So that is the only hope. And recently I also seen that there are some articles, research articles, which says that the immune system is not going to do anything. If the virus is around you, they can destroy your immune system and enter. So there is no much impact from the stronger immune system or not, or you if you eat so many good foods which can enhance the immune system is also not going to work for this virus. So from my point of view, UV radiations, these will do a better job of eradicating this virus from the earth. And now the Europe and the US, they are still having very low temperature and very low UV index. So I think by reaching June or July, they may be in the good shape. But India will have India will be having very good summer in this April, starting April, and by the end of the April we will have a proper summer, and our problem will be solved hopefully. And I pray that there should not be so much like curving or the spike in the graph because of the infection or because of the death. But by the May 1st we will solve problems. And I think even the ISRD ministry, human